Hey guys, welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. And with me today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Jeff Medina. And just let me give you some background that I know, and which is like this much. But he's in the music industry and been in the music industry probably for a couple of years, to say the least. And he is a guitarist and a songwriter.
Yes.
And now you're with the Commodores.
Yes.
Okay, so with me, everybody, welcome Jeff Medina. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so you are now a resident of Florida.
Yes.
Welcome to this crazy paradise.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. When did you start thinking that you were going to play music?
Oh, I was probably around 7 years old,
Okay.
and I wanted to be the greatest guitarist on the planet. And I also started playing the steel drum because I'm from Trinidad
I love
originally.
steel drums. Those are my favorites.
Right. And that's how it started. And my buddy always said, "You didn't choose music, music chose you."
You know what? I believe that. But I do believe that you need to hone your skills, because I believe everybody has skills.
Right.
Like I always say to people, I could play piano like Liberace. If I started at 3 and was forced to play 8 hours every day, I would probably be really good at it. Okay? It's where we choose to hone our skills.
Absolutely.
Okay, that we learn. Okay, so you're 7 years old. You want to be the best guitarist. Your family bought you a guitar? Because I know you didn't work and buy your own guitar yet.
No, there was music all around. And one thing one of my cousins said about me, he said, "Jeff, nobody ever forced you to practice."
Okay.
I was always self-motivated, which is a really good thing.
But how'd you get your first guitar?
There was guitars laying around the house. And then my dad bought me one.
Okay, so now you open up an interesting thing. Was your family into music?
Yes, we had a garage band.
Okay.
You've heard that word recently.
Yes.
I grew up with a garage band.
Okay.
My aunt used to throw water on us trying to get us out of there.
To stop. And I'm
Yep.
sure the neighbors are never happy about that. You grew up where? Where'd you grow up?
In Trinidad.
Okay.
See, I grew up in Trinidad where I had access to everything. Sports and the whole culture. And then my dad moved to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
So when I went to St. Thomas, the only thing that traveled from Trinidad with me was my guitar.
Okay, so how old were you about?
I started going there around 11
Okay.
yearly visits. Probably when I was around 15 or 16, I moved there permanently.
Okay. By then you were already hot set on music is my life. Or were you delivering newspapers like every
I
kid?
also like soccer
Uh-huh.
because I used to play soccer every day. But then, like I tell the story, I said when I got on that plane to leave Trinidad, if I had known I was never going to play soccer again or all my favorite sports, I probably would not have left.
Wow.
So when I get to St. Thomas now, it was baseball and football, and I'm living out in the suburbs. Like I said, the only thing I had with me was my guitar. So then my focus on the instrument became 100%.
Okay. When was the first time you played a paid gig?
That was in Trinidad.
Okay, so
We had a band. I played 3 different instruments.
Oh, okay.
I played drums,
Right.
I played guitar, I played bass guitar, and I sang also. So at the end of the gig, the guys are splitting up the money, and there was $2 left over. So my cousin, who was the accountant, he said, "What are we going to do with this?" And everybody said, "Give it to Jeff." So that was the first time I got money on a gig, $2. But at that time, when I asked my mom for money, she would give me a quarter.
Right. Well, people don't understand the times were a lot different.
She
Okay.
would give me a quarter.
But you could do a lot with a quarterback in our days.
So to make $2 on a gig, man,
That was like making
I was a high roller.
500 now.
Yeah.
Okay. One of your other talents is that you write. You're a songwriter.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter. I also took piano lessons back in Trinidad too
Okay.
when I was a boy growing up.
I always want to kill myself because I never took music lessons,
Okay.
but piano would be the one I would want to take.
Yes, that's what I would recommend to everybody.
Okay, I think piano is amazing. I I hate to say it this way, but I kind of am jealous every time I film music, and the guy's playing the organ or the piano.
Yeah.
I'm like really jealous that I never learned that. But again, I had other talents. I was an amazing salesperson my whole life.
Okay.
But I did, like, you had a whole bunch of addresses, right?
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch of jobs. Okay? So I was doing everything from painting to electronics to real estate to owning bars. Somehow I accidentally fell into the entertainment industry.
Okay.
And once you get in the entertainment industry, you can't get out.
That's it.
Okay? And it's a tough, like everybody says, it's the greatest thing. But it's a tough industry to be in. Let's talk about how tough it is. What's it like having to leave everything, get on a bus or whatever, and go from city to city to city to city? What's that like?
Well, if you're getting paid really well, it's a wonderful thing.
Okay.
You know, just to be working regularly and steadily. With the Commodores, we fly to every gig.
Okay.
We stay in the best hotels.
Oh,
They
actually.
treat me like royalty.
Oh my God! I wish I was playing an instrument. I come work for the Commodores.
Yeah, I'm serious. You know, I fly first class, and that's only because of the miles that we've racked up.
Right.
And, you know, I can't ever complain about how the Commodores treats me.
And that's
Even-
important.
Last year, when we got the email that said all our dates, at that time they said until July, were canceled, but they'll be booked next year. But they paid me for 2020
Wow.
every month as if I did one gig.
Oh.
And
But you traveling from city to city to city takes its toll on you,
yes,
takes its toll on a relationship,
yes,
okay? Being in this industry takes its toll on a relationship because that's just how it is. And that's never going to change. But having to get on a plane or a bus or a train and go from place to place to place, so you have no roots anywhere.
right. That's what happened when you do a 3-month to a 6-month tour.
So the people in the band, meaning not just in the band, but the people that help set up and
Yeah,
break
the
down,
whole organization.
that's your family.
Yep, there are
Okay.
14 of us with the Commodores.
Does everybody fly, or is there
Oh yeah, everybody flies.
how does the equipment get there?
The venue provides the equipment.
Okay. So now you're with the Commodores and you're playing guitar. Are you singing too?
Yes.
Okay. And we were talking about this in the green room. He's actually singing. The Commodores are actually, I hate to say it this way, smart enough to know that the music today stinks, and their music was 100 times better, and they play that because people love that kind of music.
Oh yeah, people love the Commodores.
What's the age group that comes to a concert?
Phew. Probably early 20s to 60s.
All right, don't push it here with the 60s.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
I'm serious. It's the whole. Everybody loves the Commodores. I have learned that
Right.
after being with them. They don't ruffle anybody's feathers. And when Lionel Richie was in the group, a lot of their songs started the new phase of country music.
Uh-huh. Well, that's correct.
You know, when he wrote Lady, and we have a song called Sail On.
I know them all.
You know them all.
I'm
Everybody
older than
knows
dirt,
them
so I
all.
know them.
Right.
Okay.
They're beautiful sounds that
Now,
everybody loves.
you can say, hey, the Commodores, and nobody will know the songs. But you say the songs, and
Yeah.
everybody knows the
Oh
songs.
yeah, Brick House, everybody
Mhm.
knows that.
Right.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Okay,
They've-
some
they've-
of the greatest music, in my opinion,
Right.
came out of Motown.
Yes.
Okay? I would never dispute that between bands like the Commodores, Temptations,
Yes.
Four Tops.
Yes.
All those people came out of Motown, and just some amazing music came out of Motown, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And the interesting thing, and I hate to bring it up this way, but it was Motown that made the cross of the barrier between races.
Correct.
Okay, without Motown, we might still be in the nightmare that it was, where people weren't treated the same.
Right. Right.
Okay, and that would have been really, really sad for it to be that way. Let me ask you a question. You write new music
Yes.
for you. You do a lot of
Yes.
solo gigs.
Yes.
The new music you write, what genre does it fall into?
I go in every different genre. I go in a different genre almost every day. Like I was saying, I have one CD there that's
one?
straight ahead jazz. This one is Caribbean,
Oh, I love Caribbean music.
and that one there is smooth jazz, easy listening kind of stuff.
What about the blues? Do you do any
And-
blues stuff?
Oh yeah,
I was
they consider me to be a master blues man.
really. I was on. I was part of the Blues Foundation.
Okay.
Okay, I was a judge in Memphis
Okay.
at one of the
That's
events
great.
years ago. Very heavy. I was very heavy into blues music back then. I did the local scene, and then they asked me to go and judge in Memphis. Memphis is an interesting town.
Oh yeah.
Full of music, but me personally, I preferred New Orleans, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But I've never
And
been
where
to
is it now? Austin was hot for a minute.
Austin. Was hot. The Tennessee, okay, Nashville is always big. And what's really kind of cool is that whatever music you play today really kind of falls into every genre almost.
Yes.
You get a country singer doing a duet with a rocker. You get a
Right.
rocker doing a duet with a blues person. It doesn't matter. They all work. Everybody kind of works together.
Absolutely.
What I liked about two genres of music, blues and Hawaiian.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where you are. There could be a band playing, and when they're done, if you know how to play harmonica or you know how to play guitar, they'll tell you to come up on stage and play with them. They're so friendly that way.
Right.
I sat on the Hawaiian Civic Association,
Okay.
and did a lot of things with Makaha Sons, which were one of the biggest bands for Hawaiian music, and I just think that camaraderie is super, super special, because it's almost like a word that I kind of made up in this industry for me is it's almost like co-opetition.
Okay.
Okay? There's a
Yeah.
little bit of competition there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really co-opetition. And
Okay.
you mentioned a scenario of opening act compared to regular act.
Right.
Okay? And that was the competition part, but they were going to work together. And you said it perfectly. It's not about who opens. It's about getting out there and doing, one, so you get your name out there, and two, getting a chance to do what you love.
Right. That was
Okay.
Peebo Bryson. So he was trying to give us reasons for why he left the band and went solo. And those were some of it.
Okay.
He said they got a contract to do 70 dates with the Commodores. And then somebody mentioned, who's opening? And he said that became a deal breaker, which is ridiculous.
Right.
And then there was a clause in the contract that said no drugs. That became a deal breaker also.
I've seen that. That's in my contract here, and if people don't like it, they don't have to come in. I've always been somebody who's been against drugs. Look, I'm 63. I grew up in that time and never even tried smoking pot. Okay? That was my belief. I owned bars. I don't drink. Okay?
Right,
That's
right,
why
right.
I was successful.
That's great.
Okay?
That's great.
I own bars. I don't drink.
Yeah.
That's how you become successful.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So you
So
write.
let me tell you
Go
this.
ahead.
Talking about drugs, the Commodores have never done drugs. So we have a story that they were working at the Apollo Theater, and this guy came in the back trying to give Clyde, who is our main guy, he's the guy that played drums and wrote Brick House. He's trying to give Clyde cocaine, and Clyde doesn't do anything. So he had this big thing, and he's trying to make Clyde do it, and Clyde went, "Achoo!"
And went all over.
So the guy got really angry. So
Yeah.
William King, he's the boss of the band, plays trumpet. He said he paid the guy And he told him, if I ever see you around the band again, you know what I'm going to do.
Right. How many members in the band?
14 of us, 8 on stage.
Wow. So that, I mean, you travel fully packed.
Oh, yeah.
How, 14 musicians?
No,
Okay.
5 musicians, 3 guys up front,
Okay.
and the rest of crew. We have our own lighting engineer, sound engineer for the house, monitor engineer, road manager, and stage manager.
It's a lot of bosses. I got a wife. That's more than enough bosses for me. I don't know about you, but more than enough bosses for me, especially in this
Well,
industry.
our road manager is the boss on stage.
Okay.
But William King and the 2 other Commodores, they're the real bosses. And they're usually pretty cool.
You know, again, you have to be because it's just your family. These are
Right.
the people you're stuck with. I mean, you
Yeah.
travel with.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you go and have dates to do, you have time where you're not playing.
Yeah.
So what do? You connect with the people that you travel with.
That's mainly why guys get fired.
Really?
Because you can't hang with them. It's their personalities and all that stuff. I'll tell you a story. I didn't audition for the gig.
Okay.
The manager called me and he said, Jeff, I want to interview you for this gig.
Wow.
That's what I said. Wow.
Yeah.
So then we met and we spoke for about an hour, maybe more. And he asked me a lot of questions. And then he said, I'm going to make this quick, Jeff. I'll get back to you within 7 days. And then 7 days went by. I didn't hear from him. So I was beginning to, oh my God, did I lose out on this? And then about 2 days later, he called me and he said, Jeff, you're the man.
Wow.
I said, I'm the man? He said, yeah, you're the man. The gig is yours. Right? So I said to him, I said, well, Mr. Fish, why did you pick me? He said, because of something you said. I had said to him, I said, I am never part of the problem. I am always part of the solution. That's the way I live. That's how I am.
And he took that as
He
this
said,
is a good
that's
piece.
what made it.
Wow.
Because the guy I was replacing was a problem child.
Oh, okay.
There was a problem with everything. My pizza is too cold. Oh, there's no sausage on my pizza.
Oh, sounds like my mother.
And-
Sounds like my mom. I could have replaced him with my mom. Okay. With that, I know you have some dates coming up.
Yes, I'm always doing local gigs. I
Okay.
work at the Marriott in Singer Island
Okay.
on Sundays, Sunday afternoons. I am at the Taco Tiki on the 22nd, that's Monday,
Of 22nd
of
of
this month.
March. Uh-huh.
And I'm at Double Roads Tavern on the 17th of April.
I don't know where that is.
That's in Jupiter.
Okay.
It's pretty big down there. It's about the only club that really has live music 7 nights a week.
There's it's interesting because I don't drink and I don't do drugs, so my relaxation is going to a place. Usually, I try to go on the water or an outside venue
Okay.
and listen to music.
Right.
And I'll eat. Obviously, I'll eat because that's what I do, and I'll listen to music. And I can sit and listen to music forever. Okay. And usually, the person I'm with, or the people I'm with, they're drinking wine. So I become the designated driver most of the time. But that's most relaxing to me, and to see. Same thing with theater. Like I do a lot of theater. I see a lot of theater. And I'm always impressed by the abilities of musicians and actors who do live,
Right.
okay,
Theater.
to perform. It's no, look, I know that I can get on stage with a mic, okay, and lip sync a song or sing the song, and they can adjust the sound with a board today to make me sound amazing.
Right.
Very scary for my thoughts for me. But when you're out there live, it's a whole new world, okay? And that takes amazing talent. One, to sing. Two, to be able to get up in front of people and sing. My bucket list has on it that I would get up one night and do 3 minutes of stick at an open mic comedy night.
Okay.
I have never done it. I talk in front of hundreds of people all the time. I do a lot of charity work where I get up and speak. I'm speaking in front of tons of people on June 5th for a charity event for sexual abuse survivors
Okay.
and human trafficking. I remember speaking in front of a group with, I don't know if you know the name, Father Coutier. He was the one that got excommunicated because he got married
Okay.
from the church.
All right.
And then Rabbi Shmuley,
Okay.
who's Madonna's rabbi.
Okay.
Okay, and you worked with Madonna.
I worked with Madonna very early. We did a movie together.
Okay. Who else did you really work with?
Yeah. Well, like I said, when I lived in New York,
Mhm.
when my phone rang, you never know. It could be Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson.
Uh,
That's the difference between being in Florida.
yeah.
But yeah, I worked with Evelyn Champagne King.
Wow.
That was a funny story. A friend of mine called me and he said, Jeff, Evelyn Champagne King is auditioning guitar players today at SIR Studios in Manhattan. And her first gig, she's going to Trinidad, where I grew up.
That's your home.
Yeah. I said, what? That's my gig. So I run uptown, get up there, get on the train, get into Manhattan. I get to the place, and there's like 20 people ahead of me, guitar players who were invited. And every time I only knew one song by her, a song called Shame,
Uh-huh.
her biggest hit.
Right, I know the song.
That was the only song I knew. Every time the door opens, I hear them playing a song that I didn't know. So part of me say, man, let's get out of here. Another part is saying, just chill out, just relax. That went on for like 2 hours.
Wow.
Finally, I get in there, and I start setting up all my equipment. And Evelyn is standing right there, and I heard her saying, man, I'm tired of all these songs. Let's just play Shame. I swear to God, man.
Because everything happens for a reason.
I looked up at her like, wow.
Well, you should be looking up there and saying,
Yeah.
oh my God, how
Yeah,
blessed can I be?
It was God's hands written all over it.
That
So we
is-
started playing the song, playing the intro, and I really knew it. So I was killing it. After the first chorus, she said, okay, and they leave the room, and her musical director, the piano player, comes to me and he says, man, I think you got the gig. So she came back, and she said, yes, I really like the way you play. I would like you to be my guitarist. I said, great. She said, by the way, where are you from? I hear an accent. I said, I'm from Trinidad. She said, my God, we're going there next week.
That's great.
You know?
It's a familiar place for you, which should make everything easier because you'll feel comfortable. It's like playing in your home.
Yes.
Because for you, it's something comfortable. So you played with Madonna, you played with Evelyn Champagne King.
I played with Laura Branigan.
Oh my God.
In her early days, we used to practice 4 days a week, me, her, and a piano player.
Laura Branigan, more into disco.
Yes. And Roberta Flack, did some early things with her and Ralph McDonald. And there was a jazz saxophone player, Stanley Turrentine.
Don't know him.
I played with him. He was a guy who, along with Grover Washington Jr., they actually invented this smooth jazz thing.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, how cool.
And I worked with him, Eric Gale. I used to do Caribbean music. Then I do some jazz. Then I do the disco pop thing.
So you did it all,
In
but
New
that
York.
opened the door for you to always have a place to go to look for gigs.
Yes.
So that was important. With that, we're getting at the top of our time. Jeff Medina, the Commodores, check him out. You can find Jeff Medina on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Okay, you can go to Google. That's how I found him.
Okay.
On the Treasure Coast and in this general area, Palm Beach and Martin and St. Lucie County, he's got some gigs. Go check him out. Be there. I want to thank you for coming on.
It's my
a
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And it was a last minute thing, and I'm blessed to have him on. With that, everybody, have a great day, and we'll be right back.
Beautiful.